What is going on, everybody? It's TheZachMichael here, and today we are going to be learning how to create a melodic piano loop from scratch. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out elizabethrecords.net. Let's get running into this. So I have a piano here loaded up, broadcasting felt piano, and that's going to be what we use today. So we're going to be building the melody in the scale of C major or A minor, which is all the white keys, and then we'll transpose it, which means putting the melody into a different key. This is just to make it easier when I'm actually creating the initial pattern, because if everything is on the white keys, it's just easier to visualize where everything needs to go. So we're just going to start by building some very simple chords here. And these are just very basic chords where basically I'm just skipping a note in the scale between each. So if this is like the scale right here, I'm just skipping a note and they sound like this. They're just basic triad chords. I like how that sounds, but I want to go ahead and make these a bit more complex. So what I'm going to do is pitch that up, and I'm going to pitch the second note down twice, just to kind of make these chords a bit more full. Now, next, I want to create some rhythm, essentially, in the chords. And so the way I'm going to do that is a pattern like that. That's something I like doing a lot in my melodies. I think that within a chord progression, if you can add some rhythm and you can add some like melody within the chords, I think that's a great way to make a melody that sounds very full, but also leaves a lot of room for an artist, because that's my goal whenever I'm producing, is to make a song and get an artist on there. So next thing I want to do is kind of have like a little strum. Little strums like this just kind of make things sound a bit more realistic. And so I'm just trying to come up with like a little pattern that sounds interesting. Something like this. Strum this a bit more. Just like that, we have the first layer of the melody. So what I'm going to do is randomize the velocities, and I'm going to pitch this down. So instead of it being in A minor, we're going to pitch it down 3. 1, 2, 3. Now it's an F sharp minor. I want it to be a bit darker. I'm gonna go boost the highs a tiny bit. You won't really notice that too much, just a little slight thing. Next, in Omnisphere here, I'm gonna try to find a synth bass that I like. This is just like my FLP, so it already is kind of loaded up, has a synth bass that I like using. We're just gonna follow the root note. We're gonna keep this a very simple synth bass, just like this. Already set up the way I like, has a little bit of distortion on it, etc. Now, we're going to use Arcade. You don't necessarily need to use Arcade to find other cool things, but I think Arcade does have some really sick sounding stuff that we can use. So we're going to go into Vote Code and try to find something in here. So we got to set this to the right key, which is F sharp minor, because we went down 3. So this is A minor, 1, 2, 3, F sharp minor. And literally the first thing we got sounds sick. I just want to filter it. That's just like got like a cool rhythm to it. And lastly, we're just gonna have one more layer here. We're gonna go into pad. Try to find something nice. Kind of ambient like this. This could work. We're gonna cut the lows. Now we're just gonna get started on the arrangement. We kind of mixed as we went, but I might do a little slight addition. First, I want to throw some reverb on the piano just to put in like a little bit of a different space. And I'm also gonna throw a bit of a compressor on here, mostly just for gain. I want it to be a little louder of a piano. Just like that, everything's kind of mixed. I usually mix as I go. Now we're gonna render out each of these sections. So when it comes to arrangement, there's no sort of bleeding into different sections. So if a producer wants to cut things up, they can without things bleeding into each other, because like some of these sounds don't really stop at the end of this 8 bars. So if you don't do this, then you can have some problems when you're rendering out your final loop. So we're just gonna take all these, duplicate them over, and get started on the arrangement. So I like to have the first 8 bars, every single sound come in. That's just my personal preference. Some people like to arrange their loops as if they're like a composition or fully arranged. And I do that to some degree, but I think that if like I kept things really simple, like I might have the intro of the song just be this piano. But if I'm sending this out to another producer and they only hear that piano, they might skip the loop. But if they hear this, which is a bit more complex, a bit more full, they're more inclined to use it. And so I just kind of arrange things like this. The second 8 bars, I take out the synth bass. This is kind of like the main section without the low end. And then I do just like a very simple, have one section in and out with the synth bass, then have no synth bass, one section in and out, then just the synth bass in that. And then I keep the stems at the end, so that way if a producer wants to cut these up and mix them differently, or not use a certain stem, or throw different processing or effects on it, they can. Now this sounds cool, but I'm going to stretch all these because I want to change the tempo. I feel like this would sound better a little faster. Like 151 sounds perfect to me. But that's how I go ahead and create a full sounding piano composition melody. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out ElizabethRecords.net. Thanks for watching. Head on over to ElizabethRecords.net if you'd like to support me. You can purchase VST expansion banks, drum kits, loop kits, and MIDI kits that'll level up your production there.